Welcome to English Through History. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe or leave us a review. It helps us to create more content and is appreciated by our small team here. If you're in the UK during the 60s and early 70s, you no doubt will have watched or heard of a TV show called Dad's Army. This comedic TV show portrayed a group of mainly elderly men that formed a local group of Home Guard. These men were the last line of defense in case the Germans invaded and landed on the shores of Britain. The show was popular as many had served or knew someone who had served in the Home Guard. Yet far from the comedic characters depicted, the Home Guard were a serious counter-invasion force and they have a fascinating history. In today's episode, we will look back at the formation of the Home Guard and their role during World War II. The British Home Guard, officially known as the Local Defence Volunteers, LDV, during its early days, played a crucial role in the defence of the United Kingdom during World War II. Established in 1940, the Home Guard was a civilian militia composed of local volunteers who were ineligible for regular military service, often due to age or other disqualifications. This force became an essential component of Britain's defence strategy during the early years of the war, providing a vital layer of protection against the threat of invasion by German forces. As World War II unfolded, the fall of France in 1940 raised the spectre of a potential German invasion of Britain. With the British Army stretched thin and in need of additional manpower, there was a realization that a supplementary force could be formed from the civilian population. On May 14, 1940, a radio broadcast by Anthony Eden, the Secretary of State for War, called for the formation of the Local Defence Volunteers. This initial call to action prompted an overwhelming response from civilians willing to contribute to the defence of their homeland. The LDV was not initially well equipped or organised, and volunteers often brought their own rifles or improvised weapons. Uniforms were in short supply, leading to a diverse array of clothing worn by the volunteers. Yet despite these challenges, the LDV grew rapidly, with hundreds of thousands of men joining the force within a matter of weeks. As the threat of invasion persisted, the LDV underwent a transformation in July 1940. The force was officially renamed the Home Guard, a title that better reflected its role in defending the home front. Major General Henry Pownall, the Deputy Chief of the Imperial General Staff, played a significant role in restructuring and reorganizing the force during this period. The Home Guard's mission was to act as a secondary defense force tasked with countering any German incursions and delaying the enemy until regular military forces could be deployed. The force operated on a part-time basis, with many volunteers balancing their Home Guard duties with their civilian jobs. Training sessions were conducted regularly, covering a range of military skills such as marksmanship, patrolling, and fieldcraft. The Home Guard was a diverse and inclusive organisation, welcoming volunteers from various backgrounds and professions. While the stereotypical image of the Home Guard is often portrayed elderly or unfit individuals, the force actually included men of all ages who were ineligible for active military service. This diversity contributed to the force's adaptability and resourcefulness. The organisation of the Home Guard mirrored that of the regular military, with companies, battalions, regiments forming the structure of the force. Each local unit was responsible for defending its designated area, and coordination between units was essential for an effective overall defence strategy. One of the major challenges faced by the Home Guard was the lack of proper equipment. In the early days, volunteers often had to make do with outdated or improvised weaponry. Many used bolt-action rifles from World War I, and some even carried shotguns or other civilian firearms. It wasn't until later in the war that the Home Guard received more standardized and modern equipment. Uniforms were another issue. Volunteers initially wore a mix of civilian clothing and whatever military surplus was available. It took time for the Home Guard to be fully equipped with proper uniforms and insignia, but the lack of a standardized appearance did not seem to diminish their commitment to their duties. Training was a crucial aspect of Home Guard activities. Volunteers were taught basic military skills, including weapon handling, map reading, and tactical maneuvers. Many Home Guard units conducted regular drills and exercises to ensure that members were prepared for potential engagements. While the training was essential, the part-time nature of Home Guard service meant that many volunteers had limited time to dedicate to their military duties. Despite this, the Home Guard played a vital role in maintaining a defensive posture and providing a psychological deterrent to potential visitors. Although the threat of a German invasion diminished after the Battle of Britain, the Home Guard continued to play a significant role in the defence of the UK throughout the war. The force was incorporated into the broader defence strategy, and plans were developed for their involvement in case of an actual invasion. The Home Guard's mission in the event of an invasion was to engage the enemy, disrupt their advance, and provide crucial time for a regular military to mobilise and counterattack. The Home Guard force was expected to operate as guerrilla fighters, utilising their knowledge of local terrain and infrastructure to impede the progress of any invading force. The Home Guard's contribution to the war effort was significant, not only in terms of its potential role in defence, but also in boosting civilian morale. The volunteers demonstrated a strong sense of unity and patriotism, willingly stepping forward to defend their country during a time of crisis. As the war progressed, the Home Guard continued to evolve. By 1943, the threat of invasion had diminished and the force's focus shifted towards supporting civilian defence efforts and preparing for possible unconventional warfare scenarios. Some Home Guard units were even equipped with more modern weaponry as the war's demands changed. The Home Guard was officially stood down on December 3, 1944, as the immediate threat of invasion had passed and the war had shifted in favour of the Allied forces. The contributions of the Home Guard were widely recognised and its members were praised for their dedication and service. The British Home Guard, born out of an urgent need to defend the United Kingdom during a perilous time, became a symbol of resilience and determination. Composed of volunteers from all walks of life, the Home Guard played a crucial role in the early years of World War II, providing a vital layer of defence against the threat of invasion. While their equipment may have been modest and their training often limited by the part-time nature of their service, the Home Guard's impact went beyond its military capabilities. The spirit of volunteerism and the willingness of ordinary citizens to stand up in defence of their homeland showcased the strength of the British people during a challenging period in history. The legacy of the Home Guard endures as a testament to the power of community, patriotism, and the ability of individuals to make a difference in the face of adversity. The force's role in the early years of World War II remains a significant chapter in the history of the United Kingdom.